instead, and it's Edo that's made his way in alongside Rather this time around. Lyra there up on the stage as well, that you might remember from North America. But
the long way around. It is a bit awkward for him now because the wave is pushing away from him.
Yeah, and he missed out on experience, I believe, on that last minion. That's kind of crazy.
He's just getting full zoned, and Knight is...
And there is vision here as well, so Knight might just be able to solo kill him. The Raptor's getting involved, and there is first blood for Knight. Man, I want to...
He's got a spam ping assist. You can see the assist pings coming through. If Shun stays, Clear is screwed, and he stayed. So he's flipping it. This is the top lane nightmare. When the wave is frozen on you, you cannot base in that spot.
All right, let's have a look. There is a snare onto On, but he is just testing the waters as Kellen has made his way up.
And On is going to actually look.
Flash out. Kellen knows that he's in trouble. Vault Breaker comes through. There's the seismic shot. For the world, as there is a headbutt from On to get him into the back of that Raptor pit. That is exactly where Vicla wanted to be.
So you get a couple more kills here on the side of BLG. You have 3 winning lanes at this point, and the solo lanes are 600 gold lead plus in the top lane. Hit 1,000 there. Knight's gonna kill him again.
That's a solo kill under an inner turret there, Azale. Let's see where the Knight can get. No, he's not going to be able to get out. So at least it's a 1-for-1.
Pretty respectfully, has fallen a little bit behind as far as the CS is concerned, but doesn't want to.
There's the flash from Bin. Had that advantage. As now let's see whether Clear can get himself out of the way. The answer is probably not. As there's the bonk, and Bin picks it up with an Empower.
Nicely done.
It looks like Shun is just going to be taking himself a dragon.
Yep, and to talk a little bit about Knight, this guy has been racking up championships. Bin, though, is maybe going to be in some trouble, but he's going to fight in the wave. This is not an easy fight here.
There's the flash off the Vault Breaker here from Raptor. He does have cease and desist, so Bin is likely just going to die here. Does have the counter-strike, but it's a good Vault Breaker to come on through. There's the cease and desist. Finally, they managed to take him down, and you can see just how dangerous that was.
Yeah, really. I mean, Raptor obviously didn't want to use the ult, but they're going to run more bot.
Yeah, in the meantime, there's a Pulverize onto Diablo. Great killer instinct to get himself out of the way as Pop Blossom keeps them all busy, but they just decide they'll kill Kellen. Down will go the Cow, though, so a 1-for-1, not exactly what B&K were looking for.
Yeah,
sorry, PLG were looking for.
He was shooting for Diablo, but it felt like there was a bit of miscommunication because On was looking to combo Kellen.
In the meantime, though, we've got even more action as now On possibly in a little bit of trouble, but now Raptor finds himself among 3 people. The Cow even able to walk his way out as finally he will go down. We'll take that if you're BLG.
Yep, gonna be feeling good, and Knight just getting delaying till he wants to buy that. And it is going to be On out on the map, just using the Spellbook TP, looking to pressure up on top side, try to play for these grubs. He's been very active on the map. I honestly really am impressed with how he's playing this. Navigating this Nico matchup is not easy, and they are now going to try to look to set up a dive.
Well, let's see whether Clear can find the perfect ultimate here as he does throw it out, but it gets blocked, and down will go the Ambessa with no real issues there at all. On turns up and grabs himself the kill.
Yeah, I think you can't ask for much more there from Clear as far as the ultimate timing, and he both immuned the Counter-Strike as well as that combo coming in, so was able to immune a few little parts of CC, but there's just too much. No one was there to cover him. He doesn't have flash. There's not really much of a way to outplay. And Shun going to have to be pushed back here as we can see Kellen was up towards that top side helping him out.
Yep. Only one grub did go over to BLG as well. We'll see whether B&K are going to be able to collect themselves one at the same time. As Vicla trying to get the shove out here as we don't get the snare onto Shun, but the wall comes through, gets the flash, cease and desist though, delivers Raptor all the way in. That's a great shove, as there's the flash. Pop Blossom finding all 3 from Kellen, but Shun just gets out of there. The Cow grabs another one, and B&K just
even though the 3-man Pop Blossom comes through, again, so much of the damage was getting blocked by On. They CC up Raptor under that tower.
Diablo is a little bit scary, so you could understand it. As Kellen towards his bottom side of the map. In goes Raptor once again, looking to clear out some vision, but down comes Viper as well. Chains of Corruption does come in. Vicla's turned up at the same time, but Raptor is already dead, and Bin now joins the fight. It's a good cleanse there from Diablo, and he tries to keep himself alive, but he is out of this one, not exactly healthy enough to help out, and that is just a dead jungler and an almost guaranteed dragon here for BLG.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the dragon. Bin trades the flash and the TP for the cleanse. They're going to go for a dive.
That is a big old Realm Warp as they get the Pop Blossom off onto one of them, but Shun is pretty happy to tank things up. That's a kill for Viper, one for Bin as well, as Clear is at least able to keep things interesting, but he'll be going down. It's a double for his opposite number, and an ace for BLG.
It's a 15-minute ace in a 5v5 under your own tower here. BLG are leaving no doubts in this game. Absolutely stomping BFX here in game number 1, kind of screwed. And then Bin goes in, pushes Diablo out. They know now that's really the only threat, so they decide to go with the Realm Warp here. On goes in, tanks it up. He knocks Vicla back beautifully into the waiting delayed ace.
That was absolutely beautifully played from On. He got out of the Pop Blossom whilst also killing Vicla at the same time. So Kellen just didn't quite find the value that he was looking for underneath that turret. That Pop Blossom could have been devastating, but not to be the case. And now we're sitting at almost a 6,000 gold lead. We're heading towards blowout territory here in game number 1, as Raptor will be able to steal away a dragon. So there is at least that. Yeah, not too bad. No double dragon that I was talking about.
Exactly.
Oh, really? Maybe that's what they're playing for.
The objective bounties are falling off now. Oh, yeah. That's a worrying sign. They definitely could use those.
I think as soon as we're talking about objective bounties, you're already worried. You know, the worrying sign hasn't begun. As we do have Shelly getting involved as well. She's going to get a headache, but it will be BLG taking down this outer turret in the mid lane, opening up the map completely. And B&K, what are we going to be able to do to find something? Well, we're just going to start more fights. That's going to be the plan. As let's see whether Raptor's going to be able to make this one work. Double Pop Blossom to come through from Kellen as he gets amongst it. But they're a little bit out of sync. And down will go the Nico. BLG just kind of weathering it.
Look at bot. No one is answering Bin. They moved everyone there because BFX realized this game is already cooked. You can't just sit and look for regular plays and play side lanes. You're going to bleed out. So they send everyone to try to really hard force this play, but BLG are able to absorb it pretty easily. It does cause some flashes on Knight and Viper, so there is that. But this has been, and they just kept going. They have gotten better and better and better. And it is so interesting to see new representation here. This is the first time we've seen a new mid laner from the LCK in forever, as Knight may be going to get dove here.
Yeah, there's a cease and desist. Pop Blossom comes on down there as he is delivered into the open arms of Diablo. And Raptor manages to tank up the turret successfully. Kellen probably didn't want to take that last shot, but now the rest of BLG are closing in. They do have a man disadvantage, though. And Bin has teleported forward. Clear turns up as well. All 5 of B&K are in the mix, but On keep himself available with that ultimate. There's the public execution, and Shun is going to take down Raptor. They look to try and get one back, as now Shun, is he going to be able to survive? Oh my god, he is. As now Vicla dealing with Bin as best he can by dying. That's kind of the only option you really have here, is now Shun chasing down Kellen, and he's dead as well. Yes, you managed to kill Knight, but you didn't get anything else. This should be Baron for BLG.
Yeah, BFX were up a man, but down a Bin, and he's worth a lot more than one at this point. This guy TP's in with the role quest completed, with the massive shield to start off that fight, and he is just soloing 3 members in the backline. It's a fight that is dominated. It is a 20-minute gold lead that they are working with here.
Yeah,
and it is so accelerated that if you're looking for Knight or Bin, they both have that stasis here at pre-22 minutes. There's a locket completed. Viper's on 3 full items. So everyone is very, very strong at this point, and Shun is working towards his GA. So it is going to be tough. I mean, BFX are going to need a massive engage plus a series of incredible mistakes from BLG to really have a chance in this one. We knew this was a possibility coming in. BFX obviously have a lot of players who don't have that international experience, maybe haven't had as much experience traveling and playing at these big events. Had 5 mid laners dominating the LCK for so long. Faker, Chovy, Showmaker, BDD, and Zeka. Those are the only mid laners that we've seen since 2019 until Vicla qualified here, which is very, very cool. Obviously a tough game 1, but still, it's nice to see a new team, a new mid laner, a new face kind of popping up here in the LCK and showing that they can actually mix it up with those legends who have been dominating that league for so long.
Yeah.
Diablo lost flash early bot lane. Top lane gets killed by an early gank. Tough for a jungler when both your soul laners are getting solo killed very early on in the game. And Clear's going to try to TP out.
Yep, and he is going to be able to make it out. So there he is, able to grab himself a turret. Bounties on the map. I mean, there is money to be made here for B&K if they can get towards these structures. As, oh dear, Kellen is going to be very, very dead. as that is going to be Viper with a last auto attack, and that will be able to take down the Nico. Not very lucky.
He is pretty relevant. No one else on his team is. So there's so many tools that BLG have, and they can just throw everything at Diablo, because as long as Diablo isn't hitting, you have no damage.
Well, Bin is going to look for clear here, as he does have the ultimate available. Changes position as they take down Viper. This could actually be a good start to this fight, as now Knight has been separated as well. It is Diablo going for something a little more aggressive than he probably should, and now the Realm Warp is going to deliver Bin to Vicla, but it's a great seismic shove to keep him alive. The Baron just spawning, though, as they lose their bottom lane, and BLG should be able to grab a second purple worm.
Nice attempt there from BFX. They are able to one-shot Viper, but then this is what I'm talking about. They're just going to spend all your resources on you. Right after that, after the Killer Instinct, On just flashes on his head, and then that goes straight into a Counter-Strike. You are CC'd 100-0, burst down. Not much Diablo can do unless you can somehow react to the Q flash that's coming in from On, which is almost impossible. And as a result, he dies. They one-shot him, but then watch this. As Diablo, I think he cleansed nothing, but does get Q flashed. Really nice setup there from On. Knocks him right into the waiting arms of Bin.
These structures, look at that crystalline overgrowth, man. Oh my goodness. There it is. Boom. And more plate money over to BLG, and they'll be able to start creating a bit of an advantage from this buff. As Diablo off to the side, we're going to try and take down some of these. We do have a bit of a collapse onto Shun. Vault Breaker comes down. There is the Weaver's Wall as well to block off the reinforcements, and the GA was popped. Down goes Shun. There is at least another one, but the Counter-Strike onto 2 from Bin. He makes his way into the back line, and pop goes Diablo. Man, he presses W, and people die. That is just what it looks like here as Knight teleports his way in. There is a reposition from Clear to try and keep them busy, but he is now just going to try and go for a bit of an escape here, and I don't know whether it's quite going to work, because now Bin just needs a couple more cooldowns, and Clear will just be dead.
Yeah, that is a level 18 Jax. That Leap Strike is a short cooldown, buddy.
At least he's level 18 and not level 20, because that would be worse. As, all right, BLG going to break open the base here, and I think this might be the end of the game. 11,000 gold the lead, and just a couple of Nexus turrets to get BLG towards a 1-0 start in this best of 5. Pop Blossom only onto 1. That is not exactly what you want, as now Raptor just desperately trying to deal with the minions, but there are 2 cannons taking down these Nexus turrets, and down will go the Nexus here in game number 1. Utter dominance from BLG, as they will go.
Ezreal is going to be very difficult to get to, I think, for BFX, so that is kind of my question, is can they actually, get past these carries to burst down Knight or burst down Viper?
Looking to take On for a walk. Does manage to do so here, as some of these daggers are connecting, and it looks like the big Raptor will go over to Raptor this time. As, wow, anything you can do, I can do better, says Vicla, as he's immediately put into the bubble. The Molten Shield working out quite nicely, and Shun flashes away to keep himself alive, and there is first blood over to Knight. Flashes out of the way, the sickest
Knight got punished, but this time they are a lot stronger. They have bought. On is in the area as well, and look at Knight's confidence here, going forward through the tower, gets the kill, flashes out, has the reset.
Only teleport to minions in very scary positions with enemy teammates all over the place. I think that's maybe a change that must have happened.
They should try that one with Azir. Maybe that'll get him. The large rod isn't working, so.
All right, well, there's level 6. Bear comes down, but there is Between Worlds already. Shun turns up, and Vicla dead once again. Knight sitting at 2-0 to start this one off.
Yeah, you're looking pretty late in the game already for when you're going to be able to deal with this guy. So we'll see if BFX can kind of fight around him and solve the Knight problem, which is going to be an issue here in game 2.
Yeah, first Dragon should be going over to BNK, though. It looks like BLG not wanting to try to contest this at all. That will be taken, so Hextech Dragon to be going down first. Second up, looking absolutely absurd. And with no flash to contend without a Vicla here either, I mean, Knight is going to be able to farm these plates in this mid lane.
Yeah, you got to be careful too, because when QE comes back up, he could flash and farm the champions as well. That is a risky recall.
Well, there is another fight here brewing towards his bottom side. Is now Viper in a lot of trouble. That is Kellen locking down that killer. Shun turns up, and finally Diablo gets one at the same time. Kellen able to make his way out of 2 for 1 in the bottom lane.
Be a very good Nefiri player. As, you really have to play on that knife's edge, and Vicla down 2 levels.
Yeah, Bin is going to turn up. There is the Grand Starfall as well from Shun, and Vicla, I think, is dead, as he's just going to get fully charged up on that Q, and down he will go. Pantheon grabs another one, and Vicla sitting at 0-3-0. This is not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the fact that it's the year of Vicla, but it's not looking like the year of Vicla here.
No.
It's the wrong hemisphere, perhaps. Something like that. I don't know.
Exactly. It's a time change thing. It hasn't yet ticked over to the year.
It's something like that. Clear, though, not looking like he's too worried about it. It's just going to eat the fish. And down we'll go on. Bin is still alive, though, and has that big old shield as he turns up. And I think they're going to have to sacrifice more than just Raptor here, as Clear is likely to be going down. And Viper is able to help Knight get a double.
Who's ever going to deal with Bin in this situation? And the carries are just so... he doesn't have Tabby, so he's maybe not quite as tanky as he could be, but still, it's going to be very tough to crack. And Raptor just trying to zone them back, get more gold here for Diablo.
Yeah, man,
this really is their hope.
This turret could just be dead, as Diablo is just putting so many bullets in it. Finally, Shun is going to come on forward, and the bubble connects, and Diablo really wanted to kill that turret, does manage to get it from the grave, as in comes the train, Bin to lock down. Raptor here goes untargetable for a few moments and tries to keep himself alive. True Shot Barrage, not enough, but the spear will do it. And BLG, yeah, that was a pretty good answer.
Yeah, I mean... Diablo, we talk a lot about the positives, right? About how good he is at playing on the knife edge. Sometimes he stabs himself with the knife, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that felt like a bit of an unforced one where, I mean, he's standing in the face of the Pantheon to knock down the turret. He did end up getting it, but he dies for it. Your mid lane turret dies for it. You are going to lose quite a bit. At the very least, they did get a tower back on top side as well, as Bin did move and Cleared stayed top. BLG will get a dragon, though, so they're going to stomp that soul stacking. Raptor died. And it is nearly a 3K gold lead now here for BLG, fully in control once again. And you just look at mid-jungle, and that is a problem, because you are getting into that territory where it's really just Diablo against the world.
It is. There's the flash forward here from Vicla, but Knight manages to get himself out of the way with a flash of his own, and underneath their turret they go. So looks like it is just going to be this Drake going down, as Kellen is once again getting a little bit frustrating. There's a Crocodile following here, as on down to about 0 mana, but Shun is going to turn up as well, as Knight teleports back in, and I don't think they really want to be fighting this Aurora unless she's going to miss some abilities. And it looks like now, yeah, B&K just going to leave.
Yep, and there is the Shadow Flame complete now, so Knight's burst going to ramp up a ton. I think Kellen was just hoping that they could actually stop the base from Knight, but they're going to go for a dive.
Yeah, they're going to look to try and take down this turret first, as Knight goes between the worlds and tries to escape. He should be able to, oh, never mind. Taken out here as it's a kill for Raptor after taking down the turret at the same time. Bin forced to flash away, but Ingo's Clear looking for an opportunity. Slice and dice and manages to pick up Shun, as now Bin not long for the world. The bubble doesn't connect, as Bin takes a bit of killing, but he'll go down in the end, and there is the B&K that we wanted to see from the LCK Cup as they win themselves a fight in the bottom lane.
Nicely done. I mean, they just hard forced there on the dive, and on is going to be okay. But mid lane, Viper has just been pushing the entire time. Viper's trying to get some gold back. When you see Viper mid, though, for B&K, there's just no reason. And it is the gold lead, basically dead even at this point. It is really going to be all about Diablo versus Knight.
Well, we've got Raptor going in, looking for a kill onto On. He is going to get taken down, as Raptor is so deep behind enemy lines, and he just goes untargetable, floats his way out of there, and that is a free one. And the Rift Herald just did absolutely nothing. Shelly just hanging out in that mid lane, had nothing to charge into, and so just the timing on that fight so bad for BLG, as between worlds Knight goes once again, but this time he is in a whole lot of trouble. Tibbers is getting a whole lot of work done here underneath this turret, as down goes Shun one more time. Plates are just evaporating from this inner turret, and Vicla survives with just barely any health. I think he deserves that one after dying 3 times in a row in the early game. He's dead.
Ooh,
I should never say it, man. Yeah. I should never say it until he's safely back home.
That was messed up.
Yeah, the caster curses, man.
Yeah, well, they do get one back. He has his Hect Optics, he has his PD, he has his LDR, super high damage build. He's very accelerated. Once he gets the IE, well, the clock kind of strikes 10, right? Like, that is where it is really tough.
Well, now he is in the front line. Does have to flash, as between worlds he goes, and Knight is able to take down Diablo. Yeah, that was not where he wanted to back.
No.
And now the Baron is available. BLG, they could just go for it. I mean, Raptor is in the area. He might be able to go for a steal, but that is the best that he has as far as his options. As Clear is moving over as well. They do get vision of the fact that this is happening. As Vicla trying to charge up that stun, he will have it available, as now Clear trying to get himself amongst it. Raptor able to bounce over this wall at any moment. And so they do have to have their fingers on the smite button, or at least Shun does, because there's a knock-up actually on to the Neferi is in he goes. Down to 1900, 1500. That is going to be the Baron secured by Shun. And over the wall goes Raptor. Tibber's not able to help him out there as they get the depth thumbs up. And BLG straight back into the driver's seat.
Really well played there by BLG. Lazy recall from Diablo gets super punished because not only does he die, and that costs you that fight, that costs you the Baron, he lost his flash too. So now they're not even going to have that for the next fight. So at the very least, they will be able to move towards soul points. So that is something for them if they can continue to wave clear through these next couple of minutes during that Baron buff. But I really like how BLG actually secure the Baron. Bin can take it up forever, so they're not really worried about
as this Rift Scuttler is going to be taken. Raptor a little bit in a rough spot. As now we've got Knight going between worlds, but he's in a rough position himself as Bin makes his way forward. There is the tidal wave as Raptor is out of there. My goodness, the damage is ridiculous, but On is going to get taken down. Raptor, sorry, Diablo getting excited. Shun in so much trouble. Look at this guy, he's just firing from everywhere on the map. A triple already. The young 80 cat, and there's a Quadra making a penta for Diablo here at First Stand 2026. Oh my God, Diablo with a penta to kick it off. That's the game. That should be it. We were saying he should probably wait until that flash is available. Never mind. Let's just get a pentakill and call it a day from there, evening up the series to bring us to a best of 3 between BLG and B&K. And this is what we wanted to see from this young squad. As B&K, they came to play. Those sillies well and truly shaken out, and the Nexus is also going to be taken down here as well. Wasn't the greatest out of Vicla in the early game, but it is Diablo finishing it off. And B&K
obviously does have pretty good poke and does have the ability to deny some good engage tools, but there's nothing really over on BLG that you're looking at as like a really amazing move.
I'd be very frightened for B&K's chances.
And this is a big change for, oh gosh, that's not good.
Vicla may start his dying a little bit early this time around, wants to get it out of the way, and there is another first blood for Knight.
And we'll see, you know, if they are going to be able to find this wraparound, though.
Oh, yeah, Shun making his way in. Viper looking a little worse for wear. There's the flash forward. They want to just try and kill him before this one even happens. The flash out of the way is now Viper able to be taken down here by Diablo. Avoids the turret. It is going to be a 1-for-1. But Diablo, I think, pretty happy with picking up the first one here for B&K.
No kidding. I mean, Viper has, I'm just going to say he's played horribly in these first 2 games, and now in the third as well. It feels like some pretty big mistakes. I mean, you think back to Ana's going to die.
Yeah, he's a Yumi. He doesn't.
His barrier.
Yeah, his barrier's already there. He canceled the auto attack, so that's not great. So he's dead.
Okay, well, he does stay alive.
Outplayed Azael.
He has been
aggressively as they possibly could at that moment, but like you say, just to this bottom lane.
Raptor's going to cancel his base. They're going to try to make this go really long. He is there behind him.
Yeah, there's a paranoia. Flash comes on forward here as there is no ulti from Clear, so he couldn't get himself over the wall. So that's a 1-for-1. That's a big one for Bin.
Yeah, that is honestly really good. That is that level 6 advantage for On. He has the ult where Kellen does not. So even once they get the cleanse off Viper, there's no encore to come through. That meant that Diablo had to flash away. So a good bit of pressure there. All of these wards through the entire bot side. Wards in the river, 3 in the enemy jungle. A pink there down on that bot side as well.
Oh, arrow connects from downtown. Paranoia comes through once again. It's Clear. He can't take the turret for much longer than that, but he doesn't need to as Raptor will take the last one, and down goes the Rumble. This time, the dive worked.
Diablo setting it up from downtown.
He was actually in the bottom lane. That was insanity.
Yeah, I actually looked behind me. I heard him yell out Kobe on the stage, and the rest is history.
Yeah, there we go. Beautifully done. That is going to be the
right. They had taken the top lane tier 1, so they got first tower. He had pushed it all the way to tier 2. He's going to be losing plates now. It is Vicla looking like he's going to go up and answer that. So there is a cost to this. Bin is going to get some money, but still, you get down towards the bot side, you get that dragon. That's going to feel nice.
Well, you got an exhaust down onto Raptor, who flashes out of the way. Over the wall goes Viper, though, and oh dear, the shutdown comes in. It's not a kill for the Zeri. That is probably good news if you're a B&K. He's going to be able to win. So tempo going to be such a huge thing in this game. As Vicla, I don't know about that position as he flashes to get himself out of the way. There's a paranoia as they just turn it onto Raptor. Does have that shield. It's, oh dear, okay, that is a lot of damage as they go 1-for-1. Now the flash on in as Viper looking for it onto Diablo, but he has the shield. He had the barrier, and Kellen's able to pick up the kill. Now the cat doesn't have a friend anymore. There's a fight on the bottom side of the map as well. picture-in-picture, but you've got to see this monkey making his way out of the pit. Shun is going to survive, and it looks like
Viper just looking a bit out of sorts as Diablo just popped that barrier. They're going to try to run down
Maybe if you've got a name
Vicla.
that starts with V, it's just a bit of a rough day. As we can see, Vicla down the red carpet and will just be dead. On is going to steal that kill away. We're all about not giving kills over to the right people in certain circumstances. That's sort of how it's been going here. As BNK looking to try and answer here in this mid lane. It's a decent cross map, as the extender beam not going to be enough to take down these minions, so it should be BNK able to open up the map here with this mid lane out of turret.
Yep, that is great. Going to be able to knock down another tower. The gold pressure very, very quickly. Push Diablo out of the fight, push Vicla out of the fight. And Vicla, his positioning has not been perfect by any means. They're going to look for a dive.
Yeah, he may just be dead as the riposte does come on through, but it's not going to do anything at all. However, he has the ulti down. That is so many stacks, and that's a flash needed from Knight to get himself out of the fight. And Shun's going to be taken out. The revenge of Vicla has happened. And now Knight is going to have to try and get himself out of the enemy jungle.
Might be time to check your clocks because it's looking like it's the year of Vicla.
I'm looking at my calendar. We had a little bit of a moment at the beginning of the day, but it was just the wrong timing. Knight will be taken out. Raptor is able to finish that one off.
Yeah, Vicla used the reflect so early. I thought he was going to get killed for sure, but then Knight missed the charm. He would go. If that charm lands, Vicla's dead for sure. Unfortunately, Knight does not hit the charm.
So there are monkeys. You do have to be careful of them.
You do have to be careful.
All right, so Mountain Drake, it's going to be a Mountain Soul this game, and I think that if BNK managed to get a Mountain Soul, it might just be game over, because I don't know whether anyone...
back, but it was the TP off clear for really not much of anything.
Well, not yet anyway, as they're continuing to fight here. There's the all-out as Shun getting pulled back. The equalizer is fantastic as Raptor is just going to get taken down. The volley is hurting a little bit here, but it's BLG that draw first blood in the fight as Vicla gets in, finds the overwhelm to take down this Rumble as they get vision of Shun, slowed down by the volley, prowling projectile onto Diablo as the extender beam now. I don't think
he used the clone to try to get away. The equalizer here, though, was so problematic for BFX because Diablo can't even walk into the fight. He's got to walk back the entire way around. And Diablo, though, as we're back to live, looking for 1v2.
There's 3 people here, Diablo. What are we doing? That was crazy, but he did almost manage to get a kill. So just decided not to die.
This is very much a Diablo play. As he's gone. But we'll see the fight after, because now they know, and BLG are coming, but Bin has his TP. They're going to go.
Yep. Extender beam does come on down. As we do have a snare, that is going to hold them in position. Final chapter does come on forward as they're looking for the Wukong, but he gets stunned up, just destroyed by Vicla. And now, BLG also going to lose the fight. They get on in there. Knight takes so much damage as Diablo just shoots him. And yeah, they managed to take down the Ashe, but Diablo's not the main character this time around as it's a triple for Vicla. Make that one a Quadra. Oh my god, that's an ace for BNK.
Just go right into the face of Vicla, goes straight in, and he just gets burst. He just dies. No flash. He cleanses the root, doesn't use his flash at all. He's playing these fights way too fast, way too aggressive. Let the people get in front of you and then hit them. You have so many members around you to support you in that spot, but he's just
out of the way early this time.
Yeah.
You know, just do it before the laning phases even happened. It's now clear. We were talking about his immortality. We do have a dragon up and available for BNK. That'd be Soul Point, and Double Mountain is already just so many stats to try and get through on this Cassante.
You know, next game, maybe he could ask Knight for a quick 1v1, get solo killed before the game starts.
That's an in-practice tool.
In-practice tool, exactly. That would be crazy.
That'd be the tactic. We'll have to let Vicla know. As Shun looking for a little bit of a wraparound, should be able to get into position as the equalizer is good from Bin. At the same time, the encore is also fantastic. It's another kill as Vicla goes godlike. They get into the backline. The Mel is taken out as it's a double for the Zeri and make that one a triple. Never mind. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you make. As long as you find your window to get that certification, it can work. As he does need to be a little bit careful here as the bottom lane are still alive. Bin needs to find some of these harpoons. Look, Diablo just wants to walk up. It doesn't matter the scenario.
His sidesteps have been so good. Sidestep a couple skill shots in a row there, but BLG retreating away into this tower are going to be able to knock that down. It was a great reflect from this one from Vicla. He got to reflect on the charm onto Knight. Knight got charmed up, got burst down early on. So even with that equalizer that looked pretty much perfect from Bin, This fight is just continuing.
Situation.
Equalizer is back.
Yeah, Equalizer does come down. It's not doing a whole lot.
Knight is
his inner
back too.
turret is also down. Kellen has to tank up the Prowling Projectile. Bin looking a little worse for wear, but gets that Flame Spitter onto Diablo. And now Knight is back like you were talking about, but so is Vicla looking to try and take down Bin. He just explodes at the start of this fight, but it's 2 for Knight. Just dashes after them and takes them down in what was the weirdest League of Legends I'd seen in a really long time. Now as Vicla continues the fight, there is a Foxy Lady for On to join with, and now back on over to Viper as final chapter's up again. And now Shun looking for a little bit of an angle. 7 seconds on that Cyclone as you've got Raptor coming in. Does make them a little bit afraid as Viper gets himself back into position. And Raptor is the target they're looking for. He dashes over the Cyclone and Vicla does it again! Viper just explodes one more time! Same thing to be said though as the Mel is taken down, as this is one of the longest team fights I have ever casted in my life as they've respawned and they're back into it once again. This time it's Clear going all out against BLG. And Azale, who won?
I would say BFX because Kellen is back. Diablo is respawning. It's their dragon.
I guess
that
so.
was crazy. We saw a fight. I want to say start and end with an equalizer, but the fight kept respawning. We assume that in live, and they were able to get a proto belt on everything.
Yep, that's a good way to do it.
He's got it. And Infinity Edge done for both the Diablo and Viper. Damage really has ramped up. Viper has not really looked very impactful in this game.
Against Zeri. Cassante is brilliant into Zeri. She loves coming over walls. And then he says, no, back you go. And then if that's on cooldown, she's not going to be able to enter the fight, and then you kill everyone else. That is kind of the theory.
You can see Viper now on 5 completed items plus the boots, as he just finished up another one. So is that full item ahead of Diablo, who will still have a lot of threat, and Kellen does have his Mikhails. So it's the Reflect you have to deal with for the Charm. There's also the Mikhails now. It is going to be very difficult for Knight, and he has been struggling in this game.
Vicla doesn't have a lot of buttons left, but Viper once again goes in, and his health bar just evaporates. As there's the paranoia, you can see Raptor still looking for an opportunity. For the rest of BLG, they do collapse around their AD carry, but Clear just says no. Just kills Bin. In goes Shun, and just down to his GA immediately. BK just taking them down one after the other as finally Viper goes in, finds one, but then Diablo stands his ground and murders him. On this time, he's not going to survive, and it's a multi-kill, a Quadra for the Cassante of Clear.
Clear saw what Diablo did, what Vicla did. He wants to get involved too. How about a Quadra for Cassante and a win for FearX?
What the heck was that? Brilliant team fighting here from B&K. They'll take down this mid inhibitor once again. And one more time, it is just a waltz through the mid lane in order to take down the Nexus. B&K reaching match point in their first best of 5 of First Stand 2026. Like during the time where it was Orianna Nocturne all the time, Canyon actually came up with the Trundle Orianna, which was you put the ball on Trundle and then he flashes into the enemy team. It might be another First Blood scenario, this time going over. Never mind. Okay, Justice Punch. Vicla is wandering.
Don't speak too soon.
He's wandering. Oh no, the sapling. Run! Run, Galio! Is it going to hit? It does. He's slowed down, and there is the twisted advance. A very delayed First Blood, but once again, Vicla is on the floor.
But Knight didn't even get an assist, so now you just call Jungle Diff.
Value.
Exactly.
That's the progression. He dies again, but not to his lane opponent.
It's the jungler's fault. Raptor, come on, bro. Knight didn't even get an assist. What are you talking about?
Wait, he just delivered Shun to the top lane, and now Clear is dead. What is that? Okay, and Bin is able to get himself out to safety. That's absurd. Beautifully played. So they do spot out the tree and look to move away. Raptor and Vicla now looking for this Scuttle Crab at Knight in good position. Does dash on forward, finds some chains. We've got fights on multiple angles, though, as the Gnar comes through onto Bin. And now you've got Kellen roaming up as well. Let's see whether he can find himself an angle, as Raptor going to be the first target here for BLG. But the King's Tribute, the subjugation working out so well. Knight finally will be able to take him down, as Kellen turns up but isn't able to. B&K want to do everything they can to get team fights around Diablo, right? Protect the President is what this is going to be all about. So convincing BLG to stop killing their side lane turrets is going to be their task.
It will. First dragon going to be taken of the game. This one can send the Yorick kind of forward, but Yorick doesn't really just want to walk in first and die and lose the maiden. So Could be a bit harder for Viper, who I think has struggled to find space.
Well, Viper is looking for a little bit of an angle here. Aggressively uses the barrier as they look to try and get this Lulu out of there. The flash out with a flash forward from Diablo as he locks down the kill. The immediate trade, though, comes in as Knight says, no, this is not a 2v2, buddy.
Nope.
And
Back up a little bit early there. The Nature's Grasp is coming in from Shun.
the World Championship.
Well, you have to convince him not only that, because we've tried that before, but you have to convince him it's like finals or something.
Whoa, that's a flash forward. There's the handshake as he finds the hostile takeover. Never mind, flash out from On to avoid that one as now the pillar comes in. Great wild growth as Raptor has to flash to get himself out of the way. Viper is still very scary. The flash wizard advance comes in. The bailout, is it going to be enough? Yes, it is! As Knight is eaten by the Trundle, but the nature is grasping and they're looking to try and answer this one back. Viper with these ricochets is trying to take them out, and Diablo, he survives for a while but doesn't even get to the blast cone as BLG will answer.
BLG do answer back there. That was really risky for a moment. When Raptor got that bailout, you just started to think, oh my god, are they actually going to win the fight here? Vicla going back in on, but you got no one around you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, as Clear is going to show up, but he's back into Minina as he turns up, and Viper is getting another kill. 2-1 and 2 now on the Siva, and I was saying that
the bailout doesn't come through for Raptor. At the end of the day, did not matter. BLG get the reinforcements, do win the fight, and Bin going to be able to knock down a tower here, so nearly 4,000 is the gold lead now.
Well, now Knight is going to have to deal with this pillar. Let's see whether he's going to be able to keep himself alive, and they just kill him. He was trying to be a little bit tricky. They do not lose any of their players this time around.
Nope, they do not, and they will be able to knock down this tower here. BLG getting another outer. Bin is up towards that top side, and Vicla is basing. There's no TPs available, so top side tower is going to be gone as well. Knight is up there to cover, so is Shun. So that is all three outers now going to be claimed here in quick succession by BLG. About 5K now in the gold lead, and 3.5 until this. As Kellen does have a Mikhail, so it's going to be nice, obviously, for CC coming through from Shun, as well as Polymorph, which can be so big with how aggressively Diablo likes to go. He will be in range of that.
Oh, there's a chain connecting onto Raptor. He gets a pillar down, though. As you can see, Vicla making his way in. Distortion does get Knight out of the way, though, so he is going to be absolutely fine. It was a little bit of a bait attempt, you could imagine, out of Raptor there. They do manage to get the subjugate out of him, but this outer turret is going to fall, and B&K going to take a bit of a chunk out of that gold lead.
Yep, and that is an objective bounty. Wait, you can just do that? You can just get an infinity edge like that?
Well, Vicla did realize that he could leave via a flash, but Nature's Grasp is still going to connect, even though he buffered the Justice Punch very, very well. Still, this is a very sticky Maokai, and the Polymorph comes on down a very dead Galio now, as Bin is the one to pick that one up.
Yep, going to be able to get that kill. Diablo going to try to push in mid, but Knight has already cleared out the wave. So it's just going to be the trade on top side. Clear going to be trying to knock down that tower, and will not be an objective bounty as that has fallen, but is going to be some more gold going into their pockets, trying to keep Clear relevant because he's going to have to be able to answer York eventually in these side lanes. Here's TP.
Yeah, BLG making their way up. Going to leave Shelly in that bottom lane. She's the one that's split pushing now as Knight gets over. Looks for them distortion damage as Bin trying to get on in there as Shun. That Bramble Smash was massive. The Maiden, the only one hit by the hostile takeover as Shun not really getting a whole lot done with that wild growth thanks to On. As now Diablo doing his best to get the DPS numbers high, but the rest of his team are just getting obliterated. However, we're trying to make our way out is Vicla, but not able to heroically exit that one. The Winds of War from the grave helping out as now Diablo tries to stand his ground, but it does not work. And they just eviscerate them. BLG, a huge team fight towards the top side, and once again, there is a Baron waiting for them.
Right by the Baron, they're going to knock this down as well. That fight was a mess from BFX here, as Diablo, he got blast going over the wall. I'm not sure if that was intentional. It looked like they were kind of hesitating there. He got knocked away from his team, and then the hostile takeover from Kellen is thrown only at Bin, only hits the Maiden, when all of BLG were running up a tight corridor right to the side of him.
I feel like there was a bit of
sub 100 health before the heal came through. But at the end of the day, it is another BLG win here. They're going to grab the Dragon, move to Soul Point, and this one feels all but wrapped up for BLG, which would set us up for Silver Scrapes here in the opener at First
Day 1,
Stand.
Game 1, and we get Silver Scrapes. Absolutely incredible. We've already had a Pentakill, double Quadra kills. and we get Silver Scrapes. That would be exactly what we're looking for.
All kinds of stuff. We've had the
BLG,
year of Vicla. We've had...
Oh man, it's been the year of just greatness. Maybe that's what we can call it. As, yeah, there's a bit of a chunk towards the end there, but otherwise a very linear gold graph here for BLG.
Well, they got tired of beating them up for a little bit. Like, you know what? All right, we'll sit down. We'll take a breather.
There was a pit stop in there at some point.
Ouch.
All right, yeah. That's a lot of damage out of Viper as Kellen throws out the hostile takeover. Vicla trying to look menacing. That may keep his bottom lane alive, but maybe not for long as they do manage to avoid the Nature's Grasp. But yeah, Clear not exactly so lucky.
He just flashed into the Nature's Grasp.
Yeah, kind of broke my brain.
I'm not sure if he was trying to like block that for Vicla or what he was thinking, but
yeah, was it heroism? It might have been heroism.
It was attempted heroism. We'll go with that.
It didn't work as the inner turret will now be taken down. It is just Clear that's dead, but the health bars were way too low, so BLG will be able to just push this one in.
Kind of like that movie, you know, watching a movie and someone sacrifices themselves, and you're like, you all could have just left.
Yeah, like guys,
like, no, I'll stay behind. Like,
and they spent 15 minutes having the last conversation. It's like, dude, just get on the plane.
We can leave at any time. No one has to die here. No, I'll do it. I love you.
Oh, it's so dramatic.
Yeah.
All right. Some of those are beautiful moments, though. Let's have a look, see whether BLG are going to have their moment as they look to push in a couple of lanes. Handshake is going to connect. That's decent, but the problem is there's not a whole lot of options here as Knight can just dash in with impunity. And Diablo, he's within kill range here. If Knight ever gets in range, that is just a dead Yunara, and then BNK's composition just falls apart.
It does, and we'll see if they're going to be able to find any way into this. It doesn't really feel like there's a realistic chance, though. They don't have any sort of real hard engage. I do think that the Renata has really struggled to find value. Clear going to try to look here for Viper.
All right, bit of a gargoyle delivery here as Vicla comes on in as well, but they don't find too much joy with the knockups as Viper is just kiting Clear out of the way, and he just dies. The wild growth is fantastic there as well as BLG front to back as they put them down again. It's a triple here, make it a Quadra for Viper this time as he has finally arrived at First Hand 2026, and BLG will deliver us some Silver Scrapes, the very first best of 5, and we go the distance here.
Steel does have some really good base damage, and when you go Hail of Blades, you can hookshot in, get some quick autos down, you can put out a lot of pressure. But I do feel like
Diablo with the barriers trying to keep himself alive, lit on fire as they realize that they've just got to go all in if they're going to win this. But there's first blood. Diablo saves Vicla. He's not going to get first blood in 5 in a row. Let's go. Which is kind of fun. Bubble is going to connect onto Shun as Battlestar lands as well. Heroic charge though, and yeah, he's going to have to get out of there. Gets shielded up, the double battle dance, and he gets out. That's not the Vicla I know, but Raptor is going to pick up his mantle.
Well, that was tragic, and things going bad there.
Is it getting better, Azel? Is it going to get better? Well, hookshot comes on forward. Lightning Rush is not going to save Clear here as he will go down. There is the answering kill though, as On is going to be taken out by Raptor. And so let's Raptor gonna face check, and there is a shock blast from Bin as well. Flash out, decent, avoids it to the skies, but once again, On is here, and this time Knight is gonna be the one to take down the kill. Raptor is going to be secured, and BLG continuing to be in the lead as far as these kills are concerned, but the fighting is just not ceasing.
Nope, and Raptor, you know, he's bringing the camps to Shun. He is the camp at this point. Shun does not want to fight, and he is not going to have to.
All right. Kellen going to have to flash to get himself out of the way, but the heroic charge is going to be there, and Shun just lays the lollipop down. Everyone is just making drive-bys in this game. It's just a, hi, I'm just going to grab this kill and I'll be on my way. Even though she is not necessarily going to be the main character of this game for a little while. Trying to keep her down is going to be very, very important. Is Q going to connect there on to On? There's the bubble as well. Steadfast presence is pretty good. The Battlestar goes wide though, and now Diablo doing his best to keep the damage up. There's the knock-up, but the follow-up just isn't there. On still ticking. One last one not going to be enough as Knight is able to take down Raptor.
Safe. And he's going to clear out some of this vision for him to just continue allowing him to bully this lane.
Yeah, Kellen is going to turn up and at least try to protect Clear for the moment, but the grand entrance is avoided. He flashes in. Bin is going to die, and that was probably a mistake. But I do like the vibe, you know, the idea,
that
the
was
gusto.
bold.
Yeah, Kellen's now really dead. On's going to be able to lock down that kill. And the answers keep coming here from BLG.
That's what he was kind of thinking in his mind, but Clear has ulti and you're going under the tower, so you're just going to get CC'd up, the wave gets cleared out, and he does get taken down, but still, it is an over 2,000 gold lead.
Well, now a teleport towards this bottom side of the map as Knight is going to be showing up. There is the snap trap as Kellen able to survive here as well. In goes on, but Knight was here a little bit too late. And so BNK.
And BLG going to take a dragon as the prize on the other side. Again, it is that first dragon, so we're not looking for a super fast soul game or anything like that, and it doesn't feel like
Diablo as he dashes on in. The Viper is going to deliver another minion wave towards this outer turret, grabs himself a plate and another one. And so that will help extend that gold lead for BLG. And I think already this is a composition it's strange. It feels like a very Game 5 of Fearless type draft as, oh my goodness, Kellen's just dead.
Yeah, you got locked down by that CC.
Oh no, it's not a time to get sleepy, Ben, as the paddle star comes on forward, and the auto from Vicla is going to be enough to take him down in the end there. So BNK answering very quick.
Vicla, that's really all they needed to hit to be able to set up that kill.
Yep. Rather is looking was buffed, I believe, on this patch as well.
Yep.
So going to be building some stuff in the base.
Yep. And, oh, Bin is behind him, but both junglers are here.
Yeah, there's the Slicing Maelstrom one more time. Let's see whether Kellen can get here in time as the ulti misses from Shun, and that is going to be the end of Bin. Clear goes in, finds it. There's the quickness as well. As the trouble bubble comes down, everyone's joined as Vicla dashes forward and finds the angle. Knight trying to do what he can as he's got the tether out, but Raptor gets out, breaks those chains, goes back in and destroys him. Viper, though, he's going to be able to find some pot shots as On will knock them all out, and Raptor looking for that angle, but Viper just shoots him. A gun is going to be the answer here as Kellen
something else here, but Viper just got paid. Is going to be able to knock down this tower. Will be first tower. All that gold going into Viper's pockets. He has now resources to take him down. It was a very quick TP from Knight, and then as Knight arrives, yes,
is it? Oh, we didn't even see! As Kellen going in and tries to get himself out. He is going to be successfully able to do that. On is dead as Knight. One more shot will do it. That deadly flourish wasn't enough, but it is going to be the shutdown over to Vicla. Immediately, that one's answered, though, as BNK are finding it. It's Viper that's down. Shun is just going to evict Raptor, but Clear is still here. Diablo there as well. That Shun, he runs pretty quick, so he'll be able to make his way out. And in the meantime, Bin is like, I'm glad no one's around me. I'm going to not die and take a turret.
Well, we'll see. They might stay around because they want to try to stop this dragon take here by Raptor. Raptor doesn't really have any support just yet, so Diablo is going to have to come over. Kellen got out of that fight with, I want to say, sub 50 health. Yep. He is back now, though, and has purchased his Mikhails, so that is going to be ready and really powerful. Shun going to drop the Battle Herald.
Yeah, let's see whether Shun can actually steal this one away, as he's not going to be able to do that, but On goes in, finds the Hextech Ultimatum, and now Shun is going... But On's already dead, and Raptor can follow this one, and although not anymore, it's well out of range. As Vicla showed up. So it is just On dead and Shun just taking a bit of a...
game. Jin starts killing everybody because you just have infinite AD.
Yeah, I feel like you're good on like one item, like the one item spike feels fantastic, and then you wait until 4 or 5.
For himself, so a little bit more mobility to be able to, either dodge a skill shot or to get in there on these fights.
As Hextech Ultimatum comes down, as On is underneath the outer turret in mid lane. He is going to die, but he takes Diablo with him. Now Clear looks for the angle. They do take another kill, as now Clear is trying to find even more. The Sonic Wave doesn't quite land, but that W did so much work out of this cannon. Viper is going to be able to take him down in the end as Vicla needs to do what he can. Viper finally will fall, but not before picking up a triple kill. And Vicla always had to go back to that portal jump, so Bin is going to put him in the ground. And BLG, the last team
past them, who's trying to get in onto the Caitlyn. And the fight goes well.
As BLGs, right? BNK need to be fighting around windows where they land a trouble bubble, get a pick, something like that. They're looking for a pick here on Tonight, but he has that black shield. There's the tether as well, as Shun's going to make his way in. Doesn't quite get the stun onto Kellen, as now they look for it. There's the Slicing Maelstrom from Clear, but he's likely to go down, as it's the Caitlyn in once again, and the consistent damage that we were talking about is Viper in this game. He picks up a double, and I think he heard the people talking about the first 3 games of this series, and he is looking absolutely fantastic in this one. 8-3-3.
And that could very well be Baron. Are they going to start it? They're not going to elect to just yet. I mean, they killed Raptor and Clear had no TP, so I thought they might have looked for it, but they want Vicla.
Yeah, that is Ace in the hole coming on down. Vicla is very dead, ladies and gentlemen. Over the wall goes on, and that is Viper able to grab that pod shot to make it 9-3-3.
I mean, he's going to have an E on base, so that is incredibly difficult to deal with. It's Hextech Soul that would be on the table. This is just their second Dragon. I don't even know if we're going to get there, but he's over 4,000 gold ahead individually. We're 21 minutes in. He's going to base. He's going to have IE. He's going to be on his way to the next item there, where you're going to start seeing defensive items coming through, luxury items coming.
Next game on a different champion.
Yeah. Hey, he can go back to the gym. We don't know.
That's true. It's not fearlessly banned in the next series, unfortunately.
Much to BLCK fans' dismay.
Indeed. Well, Kellen possibly caught out here. Does have the quickness in order to get himself out, but Viper is absolutely on a rampage. And Raptor with not much of an opportunity here. Hexgate gets clear out as he was looking for a flank angle, but it didn't quite work. Some pot shots being taken here by Diablo, but they're not really doing anything at all.
Then that one fight has to be, you know, the best possible opportunity you can find.
Well, this inner turret is not long for the world. That will be taken down. Some Deadly Flourish poke is coming on through, but the Shock Blasts are hurting so much more. Skates will get them back out onto the map, and they're looking for a little bit of a cross map towards the Baron, perhaps.
Yeah, there's double vision wards over there, though, so they are spotted in the area. I don't think there's any chance they can actually steal this away. They just don't have any damage, right? Like, who's going to kill the Baron? Even if you go for a Baron sneak, your Jin's not going to do it.
Shock Blast does go a little bit wide there momentarily, but Shun just kind of by himself is a wall that BNK cannot get past.
He's level 15. He is higher level than Vicla, and he is not threatened.
Hextech Ultimatum does come down, and I think that no, never mind, not going to die, just going to take a nap, and the Deadly Flourish, sorry, is going to get blocked, and so he survives once again. The curtains have been called, but
you've already lost. It's just going to be a trap line from Viper. It's going to be Black Shield on whoever you engage on. You have to come from behind them, because look at that. That's one shot. Yeah. One auto onto Vicla, and he loses half his health.
Well, going in once again as Kellen, speaking of, yeah, he is just very dead. Shouldn't going to be able to help lock down that one. Shock Blasts are doing so much work. The flash out from Raptor is going to allow him to stay alive.
So and they're going to do this really fast here. And Clear is going to spot it, so maybe this is where they draw the line in the sand.
Let's see whether they can find the angle. The Raptor's not going to be able to get here, so they're not going to be able to steal this one away. That is going to be the Poppy locking it down. On taking a fair bit of damage, though.
Hoping that it goes to Elder, but I just don't know that they're really going to get another chance to actually have a fight. They have no vision in the area, though, so it is just going to be a given up soul. Not even going to try to contest, but now it is going to be Hextech Soul. It's Baron. It's 10K in the lead. So by the time they actually take a fight, I just think there's not going to be any fight to have, you know? Everything is going to be finished as far as these luxury items, as far as these defensive items are concerned.
Well, it is feeling like a priceless moment here for BLG as they do hit that coveted soul. Out goes on as well. He is going to be able to keep himself alive. I just don't see there being much of an angle to get back into this one.
Yeah, I mean, they just, whoa, that was actually close.
That scared me a lot.
They just can't even walk forward. They're just giving up everything. I mean, you can't give up every tower, everything, though, and expect to really have a shot, but there's not really a clear way in. They have no vision. I mean, look at the map. There's no wards at all. They have nothing on the map, so they have no way to go for a TP, and you cannot win a fight where you're walking straight at them. Just look at these shock blasts. It's crazy.
Well, Clear is looking for an angle here, but Vicla is very dead. And there's the Dark Binding connecting. Clear in by himself. And will be able to do a bit of damage, but I don't think he's killing anyone as the rest of BNK, they try their very best. Diablo stays alive, but he's the only one able to post that as Raptor is going to get caught, tries to do some funny business in order to get himself out. But I think that was the last gasp here for BNK FearX, and BLG in 5 games will be able to take the first best of 5 of this tournament and look to continue on in the upper bracket. It's not the last you've seen of BNK FearX, but it was a long one. They made sure that BLG fought for it.
With 2.5, Jarvan still being able to do damage, but not quite to the same kill threat that many other junglers do possess. Aurora and this Corki are going to be those primary threats. That's not level 4 though.
Yeah, he's got the extra level advantage over Skewmon, and immediately, as soon as he sees the G2 jungler on the approach, goes in for the EQ combo. LeBron on the way now. Histo's got to be a little bit careful here. Down to 200 HP, but he does not get stunned into the wall by the magical binding here just yet. Histo on the run. D-Ray's about to fall. BA reinforcing, trying to shield him up there with a battle dance. Over the wall goes Histo, but into the ground goes the mid laner. D-Ray falls.
Punish on the cross map. Pings have come through. I mean, he's pinging him on the Scuttle Crab right now. He doesn't even have vision of him. Look, the pings just continue to come down. So just really great awareness from the G2 side.
Yep, and we still don't have level 6 on either one of the junglers just yet, so not quite enough playmaking to make anything happen on the other side. Histo does now have the Cataclysm available. We'll see if maybe he wants to try to do anything against Broken Blade up there in the top side. He is heading towards that direction as Pun summons up the Ornhorn, goes in for the stun on Broken Blade, who flashes away from it. However, the second cast still lands on him as Histo is ready to keep this one going here with the Cataclysm. Broken Blade tries to get away, but one more Dragon Strike seals his fate. Team Secret Whales ties the game.
Bloodiest team in the world. They love to fight, they love to scrap, but G2's not really giving it to them. We're finding a couple skirmishes, a couple small fights here and there, but Team Secret haven't really found the fights that they've been looking for. TP comes back through from Caps, the bot lane. Ooh, Lebrov, hang on a minute.
Yeah, Lebrov goes on a magical journey, but it might be a little bit too far. BA and Eddie now with some firing time onto Hans Sama. Lebrov stays alive, but only with 100 HP as Histo kills off Skewmon here on the top side. Pun going for the Ornhorn, knocks out Broken Blade, but Caps might be able to find not just one kill, but maybe two. Broken Blade about to die. Double kill over to Histo. Caps wants to get something back, and he's already found the kill on the D-Ray. Wants to get another one to Histo to recharge the Spirit Rush. Flashes over the wall. Has the Foxfire. Charm for the double kill. Caps with one more Spirit Rush. He makes the fight work out. To see if you want to see G2 make it through this stage.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Caps is the player that EU often puts their hope and faith in. He is the man that is represented us so well. Lebrov called out, no flash.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot committed here as they want to go ahead and use the Rakan ultimate. Lebrov does get knocked down. BA takes
my impression of Team Secret is that they were prepared to just fight you at every objective. They are showing a lot more respect here to G2. They're not just blindly going in for every fight that they can take, and instead they're being a little bit more tactical in their approach. The kills are in their favor, 4-3 after finding that extra pick onto Lebrov, and knowing that a fight around Dragon isn't going to happen, Broken Blade just drops. That's what the goal difference is. And in terms of itemizations, it's not that significant. Oh, hang on a minute.
D-Ray does find himself in range of the Vi ulti, but BA's trying to protect him. Skewmon ends up picking up the kill, and BA might be number 2. G2 brought more men to the party, and BA falls to the charm. Caps is on a rampage, and G2 is up 2,000 gold. Histo tries to get something back. He goes in for the EQ engage. Cataclysm to follow it up. That was a little bit audacious coming out from the Secret Whales jungler, but Lebrov has to flash away because the magical journey was misplaced. Now Skewmon taking a ton of damage from Eddie. His toe's very low. Hansama wants to get the kill. Eddie's underneath the enemy turret. He misses the rocket. Team Secret Whales, what are you doing?
Flash auto, and Broken Blade flashes top.
Yeah, Broken Blade flashing out of the way. Also dodges the secondary knockup coming in from Pun, but now between worlds should be enough from D-Ray. They will secure the kill. Meanwhile, bottom side, BA's in trouble, and a last little bit of damage needs to find him to the Mystic Shot, and Hans Sama finds his second kill of the game. So even though Secret Whales find their mark up here in the top lane, they'll also get the first turret right after. G2 is going to respond with a kill of their own, as well as a turret take of their own down here in the bottom lane. Since Caps is on the split push, they've got the one Void Gruff with a little bit of extra damage, and G2 remains 3,500 gold ahead. His toe does secure the Rip Herald, however, are up for Broken Blade and for D-Ray.
Very deep wards. Already the TP is going to be committed from Broken Blade.
Okay, he immediately arrives, but there's the Tempered Fate to stuff the engage. Pun gets the Ornhorn, but not on any value targets. Broken Blade's in the middle of everybody, and the burst damage comes through. Team Secret Whales already found one kill, but now Pun is soaking a ton of damage. Skewmon takes him down. It's a 1-for-1 thus far. Lebrov wants to get away, but he misses his Cosmic Binding. A double kill over to D-Ray. A dunk from Histo. A triple kill for the mid laner of Team Secret Whales. The Rift Herald summoned up here in the mid lane right after. G2 loses the fight, and Team Secret Whales come to life right when they need to.
A fantastic punish from Team Secret onto a terrible TP from Broken Blade. He just TPs into the face of Team Secret. It's like, okay, I see these low health members. I think I can get something back. His toe doesn't waste any time either, getting a kill of his own. I stand corrected. D-Ray secures that one.
The twofold hex.
The triple kill comes through. And while that gold lead is still there for G2, it's dwindled. 3.4 before, 2.4 now after Cap secures another tower.
Yeah, Caps just taking the turret in the face of Pun, who now has to try to escape as Lebrov and Skewmon both arrive. Charm hits Pun, but as soon as BA shows up, G2 knows
the
they
Dark
don't...
Seal also stacking up for him. I'd be surprised if he goes for a Magi this late, Hans.
Okay, BA below half health. His toe flashes away. If that charm would have hit him, it would have been certain death as G2 forces down the tier 1 turret, but now D-Ray ready to get some damage here to Hans. Pun takes the kill, and the G2 AD carry is already down. D-Ray is low. Skewmon looking for a little bit more damage. LeBron goes in and finds the kill on the enemy mid laner. Skewmon got to try to get away now as his turn looks for more damage. Eddie is incredibly low, and Broken Blade on the flank burns him down. Pun in the middle of 4 now, has to try to get back. Capped at only 400 HP as G2 have found yet another, and they just out-team fight Secret Whales.
A scrappy affair in the middle lane as we're back into the action.
D-Ray with a quick burst onto Caps there, about half the HP from the Ahri. Sidesteps away from the charm here too critically, but D-Ray also low now. One more charge on that Spirit Rush is enough for Caps to be able to walk away. They don't want to overcommit onto the Ahri while he still has that. Meanwhile, Broken Blade going for a teleport, and it's G2 looking for the counter punch now. D-Ray low, his toe low. Hans Sama's the focus, but they can't find the Ezreal this time. Broken Blade with a flame spinner takes out the mid laner right afterwards, and G2 pick off 2 critical kills. The enemy mid laner down, the enemy jungler down. Baron is on the rift, Ezreal.
Absolutely. I think this is an easy objective start. With no jungler, no smites, there's no way for Team Secret to contest this objective.
And Hans Sama's Ezreal staying alive, so they have the DPS to take this down super easily. He was the focus once again. This is exactly what G2 want. Caps and Lebrov can zone everybody else away. Skewmon, Hans, and Broken Blade have plenty of damage to secure this objective. 6,500 gold lead. Baron at 21 minutes into the game. To go, but considering D-Ray is only level 13, 15 feels plenty good here on the Ahri as G2 now mounts a multi-lane assault. Bottom lane, it's Caps, Skewmon, and Lebrov forcing the wave into the tier 3 turret. Meanwhile, back in mid, Broken Blade dealing with the tier 2 at the same time. G2 4-1 split now with Broken Blade in the mid lane, everyone else down here bottom. Team Secret Whales has to respond to trying to keep the base integrity intact, which means the tier 2 mid is sacrificed, and we're up to a 7,500 gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, with the gold that G2 have, with the lead that they have, Team Secret are basically hoping for a miracle at this point. They need to find a miraculous pick. They need to have G2 overextend underneath the tower. They need to find some opportunity to slow G2 down in order to really stay relevant in this game, because with the advantage that G2 have, it feels like that we already need to be thinking about game 2.
Yeah, this is real tough. I guess if you're looking for silver linings, if you're Team Secret Whales, you're saying, all right, that previous fight that we won 5 minutes ago made it so this isn't Ocean Soul plus a 7,500 gold lead.
Absolutely.
But that's about all you've got right now. The map is owned by G2. They've got that wave all the way pushed towards the inhibitor turrets in 2 out of 3 lanes, and now you can see the G2 pings going onto the tier 2 turret up there in the top side. They want to remove the last standing structure outside of the enemy base. His toe down to a quarter HP. He's going to have to go all the way back to base, but the Tempered Fate finds him in the middle of the EQ combo. His toe still tries to get away, but Caps says no. G2's already found 1 kill, and now they want more. Eddie uses the Valk over the wall, but Skewmon is ready to chase him. The Corki's under pressure, but Skewmon had gone too far. Never mind, he's doing all right. Pun drops, and Skewmon survives. The Triumph keeps him alive as D-Ray barely hobbles away here as well. Lebrov, Skewmon, D-Ray all at death's door, but it's his toe and Pun, the only 2 who fall in the fight, and Broken Blade will take that tier 2 turret with 5 seconds left on your
The
Red Bull
tower is
Bear
the good news, but their base is quickly falling apart.
over his opponent. But it's all set on the gold graph right there. It's just pure red as G2 have absolute control over the game. Skewmon and Caps looking for Pun now, but the counterattack from Team Secret Whales is there. Tempered Fate to protect the G2 players. Lebrov shows up and keeps Caps alive. Skewmon continues the pressure forward as Pun dies, covering the retreat. Team Secret Whales lose 2, and now it's a 5v3 push coming out from G2 down here in the bottom lane. Caps wants another charm, but he can't quite find it. Team Secret Whales, they're scrambling, trying to stay alive. Skewmon goes in, but he's pretty far forward. His Guardian Angel's going to protect him. He will res. They will not be able to secure the kill on that one, and it buys enough space, it buys enough time for G2 to take the tier 3 turret, take the inhibitor right after, and finally crack through the base defenses of Team Secret Whales.
They're playing it safe, they're playing it smart. They're waiting for the Baron to respawn. They don't have to... Team Secret have to retreat. G2 find a bunch of kills. And then they're able to see Caps acting as gatekeepers, preventing them from even entering the jungle. Vision will be completely denied. The Baron is quickly falling. LeBron has to be careful, but he's going to magical journey his way to safety.
Yeah, he only loses, what, 10% of his HP there, and then heals back most of it with the Caretaker Shrine. As Team Secret Whales, now they've given up the Baron. They continue retreating back towards their own base. 15 seconds on the Drake, and all G2 has to do is send a single player over there. You can secure the Ocean Soul for free, or maybe they don't even want to bother. Maybe they do not care. They would rather just 5-man press this mid lane right now as they go for the tier 3 turret. They should be able to find plenty of damage onto that one with a Baron Enchanted Cannon minion. Pun going for the Ornhorn. Tempered Fate onto Hans Sama to try to protect him from the follow-up engage from Team Secret Whales. Skewmon is into the back line. G2, Hans Sama's already down. Skewmon in a little bit of danger now as Team Secret Whales look for a little more damage, but Caps is already godlike. The Whales don't have the damage. G2's just stronger, and everybody's dropping except for Eddie as G2 get 4 for 1. Team Secret Whales, they'll throw everything in the kitchen sink at Hans Sama, and man, they'll get him, but at what cost? G2 marching on to the Nexus turrets now. LeBron goes on a magical journey through the Nexus, forces Eddie to flash back into his own fountain. He will barely survive the Ahri burst as G2 will march straight in. This game felt like theirs the whole way through. They were constantly finding opportunities. I am looking at a lot of pressure on the Hans Sama this game. The same thing I said last game about how I needed to see Lebrov hit good Tempered Fates, and I think he did. Hans Sama is good and ready for this game too.
Yeah, and remember last game we talked a little bit about how Team Secret looking to be the successors of CFO, right? Yep. We talked about how for this team it's a lot of kind of responsibility falls on their shoulders. I have to interrupt Pun.
Yeah, it's a level 1 battle to the death here between the top laners as Broken Blade flashes away and Pun with the undertow.
Auto, and the moment he hesitates, that was Pun's window. Axe, flash, auto, boom, gets himself first blood.
Ignite at level 1 only does like 50 damage. It's very hard to rely on it for a kill through a potion, even if that potion's healing is reduced. Beautifully done from Pun to secure that kill there in the solo lane.
Well, it's a kill.
Caps might just get solo killed by D-Ray, and he lives! He lives with had to have been single-digit HP. Team Secret Whales, 2 minutes into the game, have secured double solo kills. All right, D-Ray, that was a greedy as hell back. I don't game over this crab.
Good, sir. You're about to see it right now. Here we go. It looks like the crab is just too far away.
Yep, a Hex Flash coming in from BA. Immediate dredge line onto Skewmon, who, remember, does not have level 6. There's no World Ender available, and D-Ray's coming in for what could be a perfect execution. Caps over the heroic entrance. Skewmon's still alive with 100 HP. D-Ray takes him out. LeBron very low. D-Ray tries to go back in, but he's going to 1-for-1 here with the enemy support. Hans is free firing, and Eddie gets a little bit of damage back. Both AD carries at death's door as Caps tries to become an alcove gamer. Winds of War take his toe very low. Justice Punch is not going to connect onto the enemy jungler. BA's now the one in trouble. He goes for the dredge line to buffer through the taunt as the Winds of War nearly kill Eddie, but close isn't close enough. Lebrov is back in the mix, and it's another bloody battle.
The health bars are low enough for D-Ray to threaten an assassination. The magic shield, though, is annoying, which means that he can't quite get that kill until now. Secures it, gets stunned up, ends up getting another on the back end. Caps comes really close, but look at Eddie here. He confidently turns his attention, lands auto Q auto to push Hans Sama back. With the level advantage that he has of 5 versus 4, means that Hans no longer...
As you do see, Broken Blade maybe looking for a chance to make something happen in mid lane, trying to play around D-Ray, potentially being too aggressive. Grubs are going to spawn here in about 10 seconds as Caps finds himself trying to use the taunt to get away here, but a beautiful arrow coming in from Hans, and now what could have been a good play, all of a sudden turns around. Skewmon picks up the kill on the enemy mid laner. Yes, his toe gets one back, but he's going to die here too. G2 get a 2-for-1, and the enemy jungler... Oh, he has to die. There's no way he gets away here. I refuse to believe it. I absolutely refuse to believe it. There is no way in the world he gets away.
He's getting away. He's going to execute.
There's no way.
He's going to execute.
The timer
That's enough time. That's enough. He's done it.
He's called the pack. a little bit. No shot. His toe. I stand corrected. A 1-for-1 at the end of the trade. Hansama now, though, targeted by the depth charge, but a TP comes in to reinforce G2. BA's on the run, but the constant slow from Hans makes it difficult. Nice job from Lebrov getting in the way of the dredge line. There's no escape for BA. They give the kill over to Hans, and G2, as they will now also head towards the bottom side of the map. Eddie and BA in some trouble. Eddie's your first target. Obviously, Misfortune's already down, and BA should be easy pickings afterwards. G2, they sent the whole crew, and they got what they came for. 2 kills for nothing. They'll take the gold lead.
I'm going to be honest.
If they're not having a good game, it seems far harder for G2 to find a way to get to the enemy Nexus, as Skewmon will secure that second Drake of the game for G2. It's not even 13 minutes on the clock, Vedius. This is a nice early pace for Dragon stacking. Up there, showing us the story of that top lane, and man, it's still looking really good for Pun, but meanwhile, down here in the bottom lane, D-Ray could be in some trouble. Smoke screen going to protect him, still takes the damage from the third strike of the Darkened Blade, as Eddie in danger, forced to flash away, but the flash follow from Lebrov means that G2's bot lane duo find their target. Another kill goes over. It's a 2,000 individual gold lead for Hansama. The name of the game for G2 is Ash.
Eddie is having a rough one. He has been the target of so many plays. He has been shut down, removed, eliminated, and this Braum pick really working out. Freljord coming up clutch as the TP now committed by Pun.
Okay, there's your Olaf, the full Ragnarok dive onto the Ashe. Ashe stays safe by kiting, but you cannot kite away from an Olaf in ulti. Hans does do some fancy footwork there, being able to vision juke him through the brush. Pun has now lost the Ragnarok, and G2's going in for the counterattack. Skewmon wants to burst down the Fed. Olaf and Broken Blade falls. Hansama's unstoppable. BA dies alongside his top laner, and Eddie and his toe try to escape back to the tier 1 turret. Yeah, getting the shutdown on your already fed carry. Absolutely huge there. The timing on Hans's flash was also perfect for looking at the rhythm of how there's sort of a feeling of relief for Broken Blade, because when you're a Kled and you're super far behind, you feel like you're telling your team, I'm sorry guys, I won't be able to dive the enemy AD carry. I just don't have the power budget. And they're like, it's okay, the enemy AD carry doesn't exist. He's further behind than you are. So you're kind of just okay with it, right? As long as you don't continue chain dying or something. And honestly, Broken Blade has still only died the one time. The biggest thing is he's 0-1-0, so he hasn't been able to participate in any of the kills either. But now they might be able to change that as they immediately find the counterpunch onto Pun. Broken Blade stays alive for now, tries to escape from his toe, but the Fury makes it a 1-for-1 trade. Problem is, Skewmon's way stronger in this 1v1 afterwards. The arrow flies through, his toe sidesteps it, gets away for now, does stay alive. Second cast of the Hound's Pursuit, and he wants to re-enter the fight. Immediately rethinks it though, continues his retreat back towards the tier 2 turret. So even though we get a trade of top laners, again, it's the Olaf that's been ahead the entire game, being traded for the Kled that's permanently behind. Caps versus D-Ray here on the top side. Flash into the brush from both. Caps with the Winds of War. Perfect execution from D-Ray. They're both so very low. Caps waiting to see if D-Ray overplays his hand, but it will not happen. So a close fight, but nobody dies. Problem for Team Secret Whales is G2 is looking for Soul Point, and they've already secured it, but the Whales have decided they want to fight. Teleports coming in from everybody. Hansama going to be under pressure. Pun and his toe have found the enemy carry, and now Skewmon's got to try to do something, but he does not have the World Ender from the previous fight. BA dies to Caps, as G2's now found in the taunt. A lot of damage as his toe takes out Skewmon. Now Team Secret Whales need to find more. Caps falls too. Lebrov's going to die next. G2 crashed the car straight into the ditch. It is a disaster with the Dragon fight as Team Secret Whales erase the gold lead.
The double teleport commitment from Team Secret allows them to come in from multiple flanks and pick apart G2. Broken Blade has found his toe. He's going to chase him over the wall.
Okay, but it's a 1-2-1 Kled. He just doesn't have the ammo to take him down.
My goodness, Team Secret, they fight back. Here comes Pun and his toe. Such an easy pick. The Kled does arrive, but the fight is already scattered. Look at how G2's clumped into this little ball, whereas Team Secret have so many angles with which they can attack from. Eddie's able to survive, the skirmish is going their way, and they pick apart G2 piece by piece. Team Secret,
like that you mentioned, the Dragon going over to G2, that is going to mean a lot as we go forward. One more Dragon means Hextech Soul for the European team.
He's dead.
Which is a massive power spike. Broken Blade though with a remount. And that's the danger of Kled. He can bait you into very, very dishonest situations with that remount. As you can see, our lane economy snapshot here showing the top side of the map is all Team Secret Wales, but the bottom side is still G2. Broken Blade wants his kill onto Pun. Bear trap on a rope, and he's caught himself a Viking. Histo, BA, nobody from Team Secret Wales is around to try to save Pun, and I do believe that Broken Blade is going to feel pretty good about that one.
And while all of this is happening, Caps is solo in the top lane, securing a tower for himself, getting a little bit of gold back into his pocket.
Seconds away as everybody from both sides is preparing for a fight. Pun has gone through the Hex Gate. Rebrav is your target here at the start. Pun is already Ragnarok. He wants to go in after Han Sama, but they're just going to burst the Olaf down. Bullet time flying in over the top, but it's not hitting anybody of major value. Rebrav with the flash back over the wall. His toe's unstoppable. D-Ray tries to get away, but the Akali is getting focused. Skewmon and Broken Blade looking for something, but Hans is already down. Skewmon running out of World Ender, as his toe also has to be careful. You can't lose your jungler here. You've got to make sure you maintain dragon control. Meanwhile, keep your eyes on D-Ray. He's going back to the base, but he has the Unleashed TP ready to rejoin. Eddie with the flash for the kill onto Skewmon. G2 is dying again. Remount comes in from Broken Blade, but he can't hit Eddie here with the bear trap on the rope. The damage comes through. Eddie lives. Team Secret Wales, eat him alive.
They find an ace against G2. The gold lead just doesn't matter to them. And I genuinely thought that Pun had driven way too deep into the back line. He dies so quickly. With the numbers advantage, I'm thinking to myself, oh, G2's just going to clean up this fight, get Soul, and get this game. But Team Secret, and Histo in particular,
Colors, the wrong canvas, the wrong landscape, and if Hans isn't there, there's no way it's just a happy accident. This is exactly what you want to see. Unless you're G2, because Caps did not look happy about that one.
There are so many damage threats on the side of Team Secret, and the MF did so much at the back of that. D-Ray now isolated in top lane.
Yep, trying to get away. Nice use of the smoke to dodge the aggro there from G2. And honestly, Vedius, I feel like this is a story of bad starts into good recoveries for both sides. You already mentioned Broken Blade recovering well from the massive...
Team Secret's top side looking dominant. D-Ray now level 16. Dragon 13 seconds away. The timing couldn't be better for him. Level 3 ultis across the board of that top side for Team Secret. If he could get the death cap before the fight, he would be even happier, but I think he's a ways away from it. There's a bit of a skirmish is happening.
Yeah, top side, we've got a 1v1 between our mid laners, and Caps is winning it handedly. D-Ray down to about a quarter HP. Now Pun's got to be careful to not get caught by anything else. Enchanted Crystal Arrow misses, goes right through the uprights there, aiming for anybody on Team Secret Wales. As now the 4v4 really starts to break out. TP coming in from both mid laners. Bullet time getting a ton of value though from Eddie, as Pun has to try to get away. Lebrav is almost dead, and so is Broken Blade. D-Ray makes his way into the fight as his toe jumps back over the wall at the chicken pit. See Darkened Daggers flying out from his toe as the re-engage comes through from Broken Blade. Caps gets the kill there with the taunt as D-Ray jumps into the fight, hiding in the smoke now with a heroic entrance. Very much on the edge is D-Ray as G2 tries to get away. Perfect execution going for the kills as Eddie's already found one. Skewmon dies, double kill back over to Misfortune. It's a bloodbath here in this 5v5 battle. It's 2 dead on either side.
I'm genuinely shocked that Team Secret was able to make that fight work, because the start of the fight looked horrendous, but Pun was able to get back to base, TP back into the fight with full HP, has the shield on top of it, and they turn it in for a 2-for-2. And I feel like G2 did exactly what I did in that fight, and their eyes were glued to D-Ray, because all I could focus on was, is this Akali about to kill Han Sama? Because, and D-Ray did it perfectly. It didn't matter if he succeeded or not, but the pressure, the threat that he was able to put over onto Hans, and he then comes back through from Pun. He rejoins. Oh, we're back in the action.
Yeah, we're already back into the fight as Lebrav's in the middle of everybody. Loses half HP. D-Ray on the flank looking for an opportunity. His toe call the pack, dodging away from some of the CC, but now they're bursting down Skewmon. Aatrox is already out of the picture, but it's a 1-for-1 as D-Ray dies. Han Sama taking a kill, but his toe finishes off Lebrav. Broken Blade is targeted, flashes away, staying alive for now with the bullet time over the top, nearly kills him. Han Sama trying to escape as Caps kills Pun. His toe wants a little bit more, but G2 is kiting.
Oh wow, okay, the Winds of War. The Baron now started, here we go.
We're already back, and G2 has the Baron down to half HP. Team Secret Whale trying to stop it. Baron getting burned very low. It's secured by Broken Blade of all people, as now a beautiful arrow connects on the BA, but into the back line. Keep your eyes on D-Ray. His toe tries to jump in. Call All the pack keeps him alive for now. He tries to get away, but he's down. D-Ray dies too. G2 get the Baron, and 2 incredible picks. Now it'll be 3. A double kill for Skirmishing, and it's now a 5v2. This game balanced on a razor's edge, and it's G2 that finds a winning cut.
For the entirety of this game, it was Team Secret that was faster at pulling off the fight. G2 felt like they were always on the back foot, but G2 were the ones deciding to start off that Baron. They successfully protect their AD carry, they secure the Baron, they secure the fight, and they may be looking to end the game.
The Samurai find the lethal strike, and Team Secret Wales are now left bleeding. The Nexus turrets out of the picture, the Nexus exposed. Eddie just trying to get back to the safety of the fountain, but it will not matter. G2 go up 2-0.
Team Secret rely on the long range front to back that these two are going to be able to provide. Meanwhile, Team Secret, they got a little bit more skirmishing pass. Silas plus Jax just gives you that bit more agency.
Draft. It's not about the Shen being a counter pick into Jax where you're saying, yes, I'm going to destroy him in the 1v1 and win the lane, and especially not if Pun goes in like this. Flash from both top laners. Broken Blade trying to stay alive for now. Pun continues the chase. Leap strike with the Empower. It's a solo bolo, 2 games in a row for the first blood for Pun.
I mean, Pun is just bodying Broken Blade. That is crazy for him to find that solo kill. You pick Shen as an answer. Ooh, nice hook. Looks like they're not going to overcommit, though. Or is G2 going to overcommit? I mean, you pick Shen as an answer into the Jax, and then you're the one that gets solo killed? And the wave is horrible, by the way, because it was stacked up right underneath this tower. It's now in a horrible position. Dire's made his way bot.
Yeah, D-Ray going in after Hans, who flashes forward. Hans knows he's going to die, and he wanted to make it a 1-for-1, but D-Ray denies it. Vedius in game number 2. We saw it start like this, and game number 3 is going to be the same way. His toe in the top lane, they give the kill over to Pun. Game number 2. Pun, I feel like if you're G2, the way that you look to kind of recover some of these early game blunders is try to look for a big clutch play through Stand United. Bait them into a bad situation. Use the Shen to turn it around, because Broken Blade's not going to...
Game 3, look at them. The way they're playing. Dominance across the board. The top lane, the middle lane, the bottom lane. Every single individual finding plays. But now it's G2's turn.
Yeah, Pun goes for the counter-strike here. Wants to try to buy a little bit of time as his toe shows up, but Pun is going to drop. That's a shutdown going over to Broken Blade for some much-needed relief as the gold lead shrinks down to 500 now. His toe was not close enough to turn things around, and nice moves from Broken Blade there, making distance between himself and his jungler so the counter-strike couldn't stun both of them. Meanwhile, Caps uses the shovel to knock D-Ray back into the turret, but then he steals it away and shuffles Caps backwards. But here's Stand United. This is what I was talking about, Vedius. This is how Shen gets back into the... Wales can continue trying to find angles to play aggressively. BA misses the play there onto Lebrov as D-Ray tries to join him here, but he misses the abduct. There's the death sentence also going wide. Team Secret Wales really wanting to commit to this. Skirmishing using the subjugate to try to stay alive, but can the drain keep him going? No, D-Ray takes the kill, but now BA's in trouble as Hans summon Lebrov looking for a little bit more damage onto him, but Eddie shows up here into the fight now as D-Ray has to get away from Caps. Flash over the wall from BA, Hans ready to follow. BA wants to try to kill him in the thresh, takes him out as D-Ray gets the kill to Caps. Now he's gonna find another on Lebrov, and Team Secret Wales.
And just like that, the gold swings once again.
I thought for sure patience is the name of the game. Scale, 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 and then scale a little bit more.
Absolutely.
You've got the Azir with a Yunara and a Lulu and a Trundle, and they are going to have to find a way to make this game go further, because it's now a 2,500 gold lead for Team Secret Wales. D-Ray stealing away the Azir ulti to try to buy enough time to get himself out of this one. Skirmishing, though, already has him subjugated. D-Ray is on the run. This is going to be a big shutdown if G2 can secure it.
Boy.
He is running away real quick. Skirmishing does not have any ranged damage. However, he could still throw out a pillar. D-Ray just wants to execute. Abscond over the wall.
He's gone, mate.
Skirmishing is trying to chase him. D-Ray's still on the run.
D-Ray, run.
He's just trying to... Is he going to actually try to escape? There's no way he tries. He wants to potentially turn it around. This is crazy mode. Flashes over the wall, but Skewmon just walks through the gate. And it ends up being a play from D-Ray that was audacious, but it gets punished.
I mean, I loved it from D-Ray. I loved the fact that he was ready and said, you know, I think I can take this. I'll take this fight against the Trundle. Broken Blade has to commit his ulti, which means that he's then forced to TP back to top lane. Pun, though.
Yeah,
he overstayed his welcome.
Broken Blade TP's back to a Pun that is very low health and completely out of mana. Broken Blade is now, though, met with his toe, and that's a Mundo! Pun tries to get out, but Broken Blade knocks him down. Surely the Shen will fall here, but he has already taken one with him. His toe has the... Does he have the red buff on the Mundo? I can't see the brushes. No, he doesn't. Okay, Broken Blade, honestly, great move.
Broken Blade is going to take a while to get back to top. Broken Blade committed his TP, though, and he's able to trade back a kill. Now, he's close to level 11, and the game is in a very interesting spot. Caps, you got to be careful there, bro.
Yeah, D-Ray just jumps in after him, nearly gets the solo kill, but now Skewmon wants to get one back. It's Subjugate for Subjugate, and this time, it's not good enough to keep D-Ray alive. Nobody died on either side.
HP bars were blinking. Oh, the TP back, he's back in!
We're not done. D-Ray's coming back around. He sees all these low health bars and he will not allow them to escape. He wants to go after the Trundle. He needs to get the abduct and he lands it. Skewmon is down and that's the enemy jungler.
And it ends up being a nice pickup with the Herald as well.
Yeah, they secure the Herald after the fight, but you can see here in the picture-in-picture, it is G2 going after the Dragon themselves. They'll secure that one, but they've got to make sure they can escape afterwards. Okay, so soul stacking is stopped. Your Coinbase gold grind popping up right now, talking about our AD carries. Remember, we'll be looking at them more and more as the clock ticks forward, considering these are both hyper carries. But we have what could be a dive here as his toe. Okay, his toe should have gave somebody else the keys. He was not fit for driving. He had a little bit too much Mundo juice, and that was just not the play he wanted.
Yeah, I mean,
nope.
So I've seen a play like that before, where they missed, but they got a knock-up, and it turned into a crazy play. And so I thought, okay, maybe there's something that I don't see. Maybe his toe has a play in mind, a line, that I just can't comprehend, and I still don't comprehend it. As Skewmon now goes to top lane.
Yeah, we can see Pun looking for the solo kill into Broken Blade, but you can't go for solo kills against Skewmon until Baron spawns. And remember back to game number 1, where G2 were completely dominant. They secured the Baron 21 minutes into the game. Both top laners really committing once again for those damage bars like we were talking about. Pun hits the counter-strike, a little bit more damage. You might kill him, no! Broken Blade! With the outplay in the 1v1.
Right now, but it ends up popping right here. So he blocks 2 auto attacks. The flash from Pun, the timing for Broken Blade, and look at how frustrated he is. Oh, he was so close. We're back in the action.
We're already back into the action now as his toes down to half HP. Skewmon in the middle of everybody, but he's already got the Wild Glow staying alive for now. Pun looking to pressure into the back line as Skewmon is down to 100 HP, but Skewmon stays alive and Pun's the one who dies. Broken Blade is dominating as D-Ray gets shuffled into the middle of the fight, but Caps and D-Ray both die. Now it's a double kill back over to Broken Blade as he looks for Eddie. Got to be a little bit careful though. The Gravitum is ready to go. BA with the flash over the wall as Broken Blade still your target. Skewmon coming in here for the chomp. Looks for Eddie and they got him. G2 taking even more of the fight. Skewmon is unafraid of his toe. He continues looking for more as Hansama picks up BA and G2 gets themselves an ace for 1.
Straight out of a replay into an ace. G2 swing.
You feel like should be, oh, that's the fight that'll define the game. And this is so.
It's in the finals as well. And I mean, it's working out for him in terms of the skirmishing power.
Yep, and G2 has also now equalized the Meanwhile, Hans has the Kraken plus the Fiend Hunter bolts, which is so good on these ultimate reliant AD carries. But now that the tier 1 turret dies in the top lane, D-Ray finds himself overextended. His toe's coming up to try to help him, but Mundo doesn't have any hard CC to assist in these situations, so Caps just picks up another kill. It's a 4,000 gold lead now for G2.
And I will say, I really do think that Skewmon has been the quiet standout in this game. Through all of the chaos, he's provided that stability. He's saved his laners countless times, and now he's threatening the Baron as Team Secret is forced to respond.
All right, they've got no mid laner. They got to figure out how to deal with this, but his toe's already nearly killed. Even as the Mundo, he stays alive a little bit longer, but he still dies at the end of the day, and Eddie falls next. Pun's in the middle of everyone, but that's not where he needs to be. He can't even get the kill on LeBron. The Lulu lives with 15 health. G2 are going to kill everybody except Labrov, and now Skirmishing and Caps will two-man the Baron, while Hans Sama and Labrov push that mid lane turret themselves. Broken Blade just going to make sure that that wave stays pushed, making his way towards the tier 2. Hans moves over towards the Baron. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now once again a G2
made
game.
for supports,
But that's fine. It's still another full item from when we last checked in. The Bandle Pipe's done for the Shen. This pick has just worked wonders for G2. Despite the early blunder in the lane, it has recovered wonderfully with the help of the team. And now G2, with their 8,000 gold lead, with their Baron buff for the next 2 minutes, are looking to form a split push threat. It's a 4-1 split with everybody except for Broken Blade forcing their way into the base here in the bottom lane. The first inhibitor turret already gone. Yeah, nothing's stopping them. Pun is still split pushing in the top side. G2 have already found their first inhib, and you can see Broken Blade walking all the way over there. Now he's going to answer Pun. Tier 2 turret is already down, but the Jax is afraid of the Shen. Even in open territory, no structure to protect him. Pun does not want anything to do with this Shen. Yeah, you can see how much damage he does just dashing in, getting the Dusk and Dawn. Look at the damage! Shen is a true ninja, and he puts a dagger between Pun's ribs. The damage of Titanic plus Dusk and Dawn is nothing to scoff at.
Level 17 as well. Yeah, I mean, I think the Shen's online, Flowers. I think we can say with safety.
Shen's got control over the game. Broken Blade, that damage was absolutely nuts, man. This guy is a problem. When he can't die to the enemy AD carry and he does that much damage?
Like, I questioned his game. I did. You know, we criticized him for dying one. Oh, Eddie, you got it. Yeah, the flash was a wise
mandatory
choice.
Yep.
The Broken Blade committing the TP, still has the ulti ready. I mean, G2 getting a lot of value out of this Baron. Tower is falling one after the other. They've set their sights on the next inhibitor towers. 4-1. Once again, the setup. Shen ready with the ult. Azir ulti stolen away.
All right, 30 seconds remain on the Baron. Teleports coming in now, though, for Team Secret Whales. This is their final send to try to save their game state. Cap taking a ton of damage from Pun, but Hizto and BA are also going to be knocked away from the fight. D-Ray in the middle of everybody, going golden here for a moment, trying to buy enough time, but Pun has run out of ammo, and Caps is able to fight him off all on his own. The Aphelios ulti doesn't find the result they're looking for. Meanwhile, Caps chasing after the enemy Jax. The arm guard will only buy him a moment. Stand United to guarantee that Caps wouldn't die there in the 1v1, and now that the enemy team has lost both solo lanes, G2 is looking to clean sweep the Vietnamese team. BA will not find a target with his death sentence. The Nexus turrets are about to crumble. First one's already down, and the top lane inhibitor will follow as Caps guarantees this one. Everybody left standing on Team Secret Whales just trying desperately to defend. BA hits a death sentence, but Hans is unfazed. One more auto attack might take him down. Meanwhile, at least Caps is removed by Eddie, but now G2 are onto the Nexus. The respawns coming in from the Whales will not matter.